Hi guys, welcome to Dewdrops. My name is Beth. This is a really fun video. It is using glow powder, believe it or not. I can't wait to get into it. So here we go. The first thing we're going to do is make our moons. We're going to use the littlest ones because those are our flower petals. And I just had fun using the glow powder. It glows in the dark, as you already figured out. So when the lights are off, it still shows. The great thing about the glow powder too is it cures really fast. It seems to anyway, probably because of the light refraction. So you can make it pretty thick. I do. I make it very thick so it almost stands on its own. So now we're going to fill these up. And as you're watching here, you got to make sure that you don't get any bubbles in it because they will show through. And then we're going to make a couple little squares. This is actually a very simple piece. There's just a lot of components putting together at the beginning. So we're going to cure that, and I cure everything between 2 to 3 minutes when it's a full cure. Now that we have got all our petals in our middle, we are going to take some resin tape and we're going to create our flower. Now you're going to want the edges of the moon to butt up against the square to create the flower. And you want it right up there, right against it. And then you're going to cure it together. Now as we take it out, we're going to take it off the tape and we're going to insert it into the mold. Then once that is inserted, we're going to do the wire work. And we're going to do that zigzag pattern just like I do on a lot of my pieces. We are going to use the round nose so we get a rounder zigzag instead of sharp points. Then we're going to measure and we're going to make what I kind of like to say is little tendrils or twigs, whatever you want to call it. It just makes it pretty. So we're going to cut those to size and we're going to place those also into the mold. And you don't have to do it exactly like I do it. You can do it any way you want. This is just how I really like the way it looked. So I dip in a little resin and I cure it into place. And that's what I'm going to be doing with all of the little pieces. So I'm going to cure it in and then I will cut my next piece. And I like to do things pretty symmetric, but that's just me. I mean, it's not always the answer to when I put things in there, but it's my starting point to see where it lays and make it look nice. So we're just putting the little stems, if that's what you want to call them, on all 4 sides and curing them in. And now that we've got the 4 inserts done there, we're going to do little tiny pieces of wire. And you're just going to have to cut them until they fit right. Do not force them, you will scratch your mold. They should fit in very simply. And when you cut these small pieces, it's really important that you cut them from both sides so you keep the integrity of the pattern. Now that we're finishing up the last piece of wire for the framework of this piece, we are going to now fill it with resin. Now you want to be very careful that you don't fill it with too much resin because it will create huge bubbles, because there's a lot of inserts in there between the wire and the other pieces. Now that it's cured, I'm using some gilding adhesive that will dry very sticky, and then I'm going to be putting my colors over it. And I am using the Let's Resin, purple pink, lime blue, violet blue, and brown yellow. And in Baltic Day, I'm using the red pink. Just remember that each time you put these flakes down, you need to have a very light hand because you want them to combine. You don't want just one color being apparent. You want to blend your colors. And that's the only way I have found to do them. I love the way that this piece turned out. It is just so pretty. The colors are exceptional. And it's really amazing how you can meld your colors together like this and create a texture within the color that is just so beautiful. So you're seeing here, I'm just putting each layer on gently. Now I'm going to tamp it all down. The tamping is the most important part before you burnish it in. Tamping it gets each one of those flakes in the spot that they're supposed to be so that you get the coloration you're looking for. Now we're going to cover it with a layer of resin, and that will protect the flakes from coming off or getting into any other part of your piece. And we cure it for 3 minutes. I always check it with my finger. I probably shouldn't because sometimes it's very hot. Just a warning. So now I'm going to add some black mica powder to the back of this. And it's just the cheapest mica powder that there is. It came with something that I had received a long time ago. So it's nothing. I think it's made by Inkly, I-N-K-L-Y, if I'm not mistaken. But I just add some resin on the back after I cure it for about 10 to 15 seconds. And it sticks wonderfully when you have it sticky back there. Now we're going to cover it with resin. And that will also keep the black in place as well as help finish off the back. But there's still a lot more to do the back. We still have to put the veil on. And we're going to cure it. I love this lamp. It is so versatile. I did cure the bottom for a few moments, and oh my gosh, and this is not even finished. Look how beautiful this is turning out to be. And now we're going to put the bail on. I left the shank really long so that when I do turn it over, yes, I do things backwards, as I say probably in every one of my videos. But I'm telling you, I know exactly where the piece is, but not the piece the bail lays. So once I get that cured on the back, we are going to start adding some embellishments. Now that we have the bail on, we're going to add some more resin to it and then cure that. And then we're going to start adding the embellishments onto this piece. Man, it turned out so pretty. I just love the colors of it. We are taking the medium size dewdrops and using them in the middle as a petal also, a layer upon a layer. And we're just kind of building the flower right now. We cure those in, we start filling it in with the same exact concoction we used for the inserts. And we just fill them up, and you're going to dome them. And that stuff is pretty thick. When you make that stuff, it pretty much stands on its own. It's amazing how the glow-in-the-dark powder, you can make it so much thicker than any other pigment. And I think it's because of the way that it holds light. So we're going to cure this. And now we're going to paint them rose red. These colors are so amazing. They're so true to the color of what's in the bottle. And I'm making a paint. I literally am making a little paint out of the resin and the pigment. And I'm just going to paint it on and make my beautiful petals. Now that we've got the petals done, we're going to cure those, and now we're going to add our flowers. I love these little flowers. They're called Queen Anne's lace. They're little tiny, tiny buds of flowers. The petals are so little, but they work perfectly in jewelry. So let's add the flowers. We add a little resin to the outside, and then we start placing our flowers. And putting your flowers on there, it doesn't absolutely need them if you don't want to put them on there. I just like the way that they reflect the light underneath, with all that color underneath them. Now we're going to cure it. And then we're going to add a little bit more resin, and we are going to put the flat back pearl on there, right smack in the middle. Why? Just because I like it. So we're going to continue adding more resin and keep building the outside up. And then we're going to cure it. Oh my goodness, look at that paint. It is gorgeous. I can't believe how close it is to the other one, but the amazing thing, I use the same exact colors. I sure hope you enjoyed this video. I sure had fun. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. I will see you soon.